ford the river to reach an area frequented by a group of baboons. But between the monkeys and us are some disturbing presences. Fortunately, the great reptiles seem busy with something else. A group of guinea fowl accompany us as we approach the baboons. Sometimes these monkeys add protein to their largely vegetarian diet, occasionally catching small mammals or birds. But in this case, they seem to chase the guinea fowl more for fun than anything else. The troop is gathering on the riverbank. They begin to cross it with all their famed agility. Some individuals seem more cautious. Are they afraid of crocodiles, or don't they like water? Only the youngest continue their scuffles in the water without a care in the world. Vervets observe the ford from the safety of trees. Now that their larger, more numerous cousins have moved away, they can go down to the riverbed. Up come two small antelopes called Imbabala, one of the species of Tragolaphus that inhabit the bush of sub-Saharan Africa. The monkeys and antelopes seem intrigued by each other. Incredibly, they begin to play with each other. They are like children who speak different languages, but when it comes to playing, understand each other perfectly. This is something else I've never seen before. But it would be hard to miss that bright spot amongst the green. A fish eagle is hunting. This time, the fish was faster. All it can do is give its typical cry, which many consider the voice of Africa. Looking for other subjects. Zebras can also run away and blend into the bush, but the giraffe has nowhere to hide. The zebras also calm down when they see the giraffe looking relaxed. I try to imitate it. I walk slowly. Well, not that slowly. The heat and drought have already claimed some victims. Only a few perfectly adapted animals can survive in the driest parts of this area. These species, such as the oryx, depend on what little moisture the plants they eat can absorb from the mists of condensed water vapor. Sometimes, if rarely, the haze becomes so dense that it turns into violent rain showers. But they don't last long. The scorching sun soon comes back to lord it over the desert. Now we are in Namibia. The beauty of this fascinating landscape disguises the difficulties that the plants and animals face in their daily struggle to survive. This quiver tree, so called because the Bushmen made quivers for their arrows from it, has adapted to survive in almost perpetual drought. In its branches and those of other rare trees with long trunks, sociable weavers build their huge communal nests. Here it is not difficult for these gregarious birds to find blades of dry grass with which to build their cities. Even far larger animals have adapted to survive in this hostile environment. The elephants in the deserts of Namibia are smaller than those that live in more lush lands. Here, instead of tree branches, they live almost entirely on dry grass that contains fewer calories. Their evolutionary response? Remain relatively small. It's a difficult environment. Enjoying a tragic beauty that is always in flux, it's subjected to the whims of the wind and the scarce and unpredictable rains. Here, every blade of grass counts. And to find them, animals are forced to take long journeys across seemingly endless vistas. The hartebeest takes advantage of the dry earth to take a sterile dust bath, getting rid of annoying pests. As in all natural environments, there are those who are at the top of the food chain. In an environment with scarce and scattered prey, cheetahs have the advantage of being able to scan wide, treeless areas. But today, this family group just seems to want to laze around, an activity at which felines excel. Although it rarely rains, the desert is almost never completely free of water. Trees indicate the presence of an underground aquifer. The rare but violent rains form ephemeral rivers, whose courses, now invisible, we can guess by the arrangement of the trees. But the desert always contains surprises. Between two rocky slopes of arid mountains, a gorge has formed that is able to conserve water. Here, the vegetation is lush. In some areas of the valley, the water rises constantly and creates permanent pools. This one, with its crystal clear waters thanks to the filtering action of the sand, is even host to many small fish that got here, who knows how. But in most of this area, there is no trace of water, and it is just the wind that constantly shapes the landscape. The water is so deep down that the roots of plants can no longer reach it. But all it takes is a depression in the ground, and the trees manage to reach the underground water. In such a dry area, the few stable pools of water are a magnet for lots of animals. When they arrive, often after an exhausting journey, they greedily drink their fill. For the giraffes, it is a little more complicated. But they have their very own tried and tested method to get to the water, down there.